TNN Trappers Network, back the same, like, cracking the same. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for more of this good content we got going on here at TNN Trappers Network. It's that good news you can use. It's that good knowledge you can't get nobody's college. Big dog, tap in with that tap in to make sure you're in fact tapped in with that good, tapped in everything we got going on here at TNN Trappers Network. Good news you can use, good knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college. Big dog, tap in with that tap in to make sure you're in fact tapped in with that tap in. We ain't finna hold y'all too long, but we need y'all to know 4 new singles out now. Man at the Garden Freestyle, Please Don't Touch My, I Got a Body on It, Fairy Tales, and Boogeyman, all out now, man. 25,000 subscribers, we're giving away Chili. 15, we're giving away Chili. The Viral Way podcast, Adam 22, talking about the beef between Viral Way and Trell. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Speaking of Trell,
Oh, hold on. I was watching it and fast forward. Let me slow it down. Let me slow it down. Normal playback speed. All right, boom.
Transition.
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That was an interesting little arc. I'm not gonna lie. I was impressed with the way that you were willing to call bullshit on Trell for having a serious conversation on the podcast and handling it like a clown. And you called him out in exactly the way that I wish that more people would. Which is, I definitely earned some respect for you guys as content creators when I seen that.
Yeah, that's pretty much our whole platform is built on calling a spade a spade. We stick to the facts. We don't really care about the feelings. If the facts could go against the way I feel, I could dislike the facts, but I can't ignore the facts are the facts. So that's just how I call it. And the thing with Z-Real, I really don't know where that came
He called that nigga Z-Real.
from. You know, I'm not going to get up here and trash him so it look like I'm coming to the white man platform to trash the black man, but I didn't understand where his energy came from because he was the one that reached out to us. He hit me directly. So when I hit him back, I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe he had a heart to change. I really didn't give a fuck. I left it at that. But once he started throwing darts, I'm like, oh, all right, all's fair in love and warfare. It's up.
Right, because the clip, like, the one thing that you said that to me felt like just such an indictment of who he is as a person and what his attitude is and how pompous he is when he basically hit y'all up at one point, I don't know, 6 months ago or however many months ago, and said, I want to have you guys back on Fig. And your response was something along the lines of like, yeah, we could do that, but I would like to have you on our podcast as well. And he sent you a bunch of laughing emojis and was just like, oh, hell no.
That's what
That
made
blew my
me.
mind.
That's when I was low key over it.
Trell.
Cause I'm like, I don't know this nigga. Maybe he's joking, maybe he playing.
Right.
But you don't know me to play like that. So I didn't understand that shit. But
I think
then
he was joking.
Nah.
Bro, I don't know you like that.
His
He
ass.
meant that?
See, this the crazy part. People think
What a jerk.
people think we came up here because of the T-Rail thing. But T-Rail hit me up because we was going in on y'all when y'all had did the shit with DW. So we gave our
That era.
takes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we gave our takes on that. So he's basically doing the same thing you're doing, you know what I'm saying, in a sense. So people can't really be like, oh, you're up there teaming up with Adam against Dude when Dude was doing the same fucking thing.
This is like a 5 to 8 minute conversation in a podcast that'll probably be like 3-4 hours. It's like, I feel like people have a hard time distinguishing between us talking about T-Rail for 5 minutes out of a very long podcast versus...
Well, I mean, here's the fact. When you bring it up, they're going to talk about it because, you know, you brought them up. If you didn't want T-Rail or Smack or Pun or AD or Duna or any of them dudes over there at FMW to actually have anything to say about it, then you wouldn't have brought it up at all. You feel me? The moment you bring it up is the moment that niggas is going to speak on the situation.
T-Rail literally doing like multiple hours about No Jumper and our hosts on a very consistent basis, watching entire 20-minute videos about us. Like, there's a huge like dissymmetry or asymmetry in terms of how much content we make about each other. Because I am curious about all that, but okay, I'm gonna be real. So much of what I've learned about podcasting basically came from me being embraced by DJ Vlad very early on, and him basically telling me all about how he does his thing and how he, you know, treats his guests and everything about the game. And one thing he always said to me from super early on is, if I have somebody on my platform and then they start their own platform, I'm happy to go on their platform to basically return the favor and let it be like a mutual thing. Because
be a cool person.
I feel like so
Not
many
too
people
hard.
who've been left behind in the media game are basically like old fogies. No shots, Ebro, but you're kind of like the epitome of it, of like people who they have their spot, they want to hold on to their spot, and they're basically gatekeeping and not letting many other people come up the ladder. Whereas like my perspective that I kind of got from Vlad, or I guess it's just the inherent like nature of No Jumper, because it's like more of an underground focused podcast, is that like you could be a YouTuber with 10,000 subscribers or whatever.
Yeah.
And if we think like, oh, he's cool, he's got an interesting story or he's got an interesting perspective, it's like we should have them on. And
So he switched off T-Rail pretty quick. Let's see how much longer this goes.
and even return the favor. When I hit you up, I wanted to make sure right off the bat that I was like, listen, I'll come on your shit. Like, I don't have a big head about that. Like, you know, I'm perfectly happy to help other people out as well. But to see T-Rail send the laughing emojis, which I guess I didn't see it, I just heard you describe it, that to me was just like, oh my God, he so doesn't get it. And that's the same attitude that makes so many other people in that little content universe resentful of him, because his whole attitude is that he's way bigger and better than MacWop or the Apollo or whoever, because, you know, he feels like he gets more views, which is slowly not even really seeming like reality. Maybe at one point, like 2 years ago, he had enough momentum that he could kind of have that big-headed perspective, but I feel like that's kind of on the way out anyway.
Nah, for sure. Also, I think I want to make it clear that this isn't, you guys weren't invited on this pod out of spite
Nah.
or because of T-Rail in any capacity. And like both, you know that y'all have a relationship with me and y'all got a relationship with FLAKKO. You feel me? Being cool. We've been pushing for y'all. Both me and FLAKKO have been in the group chat and just been talking to bro and like for several months. It ain't got nothing to do with that.
Nah, but this is the thing. I didn't care if that was the reason.
And I will say this, man. I know a lot of people gonna look at me crazy for this. Because, you know, whatever, I'll be having what I be having with some of their homies. But I like the viral way, bro, and I'm proud of them dudes, and I'm happy to see them on their platform. I just sent $1.99 and no jumper. I ain't gonna send no more than that. But just to tell them dudes, shout them out, man, and tell them that, you know, I'm happy to see them doing what they do, bro. I'm proud of you guys. Shout out to the Viral Way podcast, man. They doing their thing in this media space. I don't see them as nothing else outside of my media peers. Whatever they got going on the streets politically, I have nothing to do with. I see them as three black men in this media space, climbing the ranks, doing their due diligence. I see where they was at last year. I see where they are this year. Shout out to them, bro. I got nothing but love and respect for the Viral Way, bro. Nothing but love and respect. And if I ever had to feel any type, at this point, I got so much respect for them dudes. I can't see where me having any type of whatever for them wouldn't result in a behind-the-scenes conversation that y'all would never hear about, because I think they solid. Shout out and salute to the Viral Way.
We understand how show business works. I don't mind being used as long as I could use you back for something. Because if you can't be used, you're useless. So if Adam would have saw that as a moment to, hey, I could take a shot at T-Rail and, you know, this could go up because of the controversy, I wouldn't care if that was the reason. I mean, in retrospect, that was the reason he hit us up. We've been doing content for like
that's what I'm saying.
2 years. The one video we did about No Jumper, bam, in the inbox. So realistically, he was doing the same thing, because they'll call you a culture vulture. But then when someone from the culture is tapping in, trying to work, you like trying to shun them out. It looked like hate. You know what I'm saying? Especially when everybody else around you is like, yeah, cool, let's work.
But they're going to react to the culture vulture for, you feel me? Like on top of that, they're going to not fuck with someone from the culture, then do a reaction about the culture.
But that's what people in the culture got to understand. You can be from the culture and still be a vulture.
Right, because T-Rail to me is really kind of a culture vulture, because he
Adam calling T-Rail a culture vulture is sick. Adam calling T-Rail a culture vulture is sick.
never got put on.
Wow.
This nigga crazy.
I mean, I'm just being real. Like, he's doing like a whole Hoover themed podcast, and you never really like got initiated into that. Like I see the way Brick was accusing Loose Cannon of not having been put on. Loose Cannon doesn't want to divulge who put him on.
So I was finna take this I'm texting my thumbnail guy right now. On this one, go ahead and take Viral Way off the thumbnail, because the thumbnail's for sure going to say something about not Loose Cannon, Adam calling T-Rail a fake Hoover, whatever the case, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going ahead and take Viral Way 100% off this thumbnail for sure, because I don't even want niggas to think that they was a part of that or condoning that or anything like that. They are not. That's Adam's word, not theirs.
I understand, whatever. But, I mean, I feel like, you know,
Wait, you said he's doing groovy cosplay over there?
I mean, you can call it what you want to call it, but, you know, it's definitely like, I feel like
Bro, just sitting there like I don't got nothing to say.
he's like a non-participant in a lot of the shit that he's talking about the same way that I am.
I just don't understand. See, this what a lot of people that watches this type of stuff, they pick sides based on the favoritism. That's why I go into, we stick to the facts. I never reached out to T-Rail. We never tried to get on back on Fig. We did shout them out because we see they in the culture, they doing their thing. Hey, shout out to y'all, black man. But when you see somebody else coming up, where's all the hate and the resentment come from? I don't understand that shit.
What about when MacWap called you Kevin Hart?
Everybody call me Kevin Hart. if I had a dollar for every day somebody called me Kevin
I
Hart,
can go out the state and they gonna call him Kevin Hart.
every country, every state, it don't matter where I'm at. So that's regular.
Well, you'll beat up Kevin Hart. Let's be real. I'm sure you'll beat
You
him.
think? He seems
Shout out
like
to
he
Kev,
might do like
cuz.
martial arts training for fun.
No, I think this fool is fucking. For
think
sure
he got
putting
it? Oh,
Tips
shit,
on
okay.
Kevin, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Kevin though, cuz we got to get some work done.
Shouts to Kevin Cut.
Yeah, and I'm against all that bullshit that Cat Williams put on him. I felt like he did him dirty.
Cat Williams was doing the most in the interview, but he made it iconic.
Yeah, for sure.
Did
I don't
Cat
think-
really do
Did
the
he
most?
do him dirty?
I mean, I feel like
All right, man. We up out to the next one. Y'all know the deal. Red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest. And it's free. Avenue Angel tweets free. We